Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Professor Know-It-All. In this short video, I'm going to teach you guys the basics of how to use the relative strength index, the stochastic RSI, and how to identify support and resistance levels to profitably take trades. If you guys like this content, you guys know what to do. You can do it later. We'll catch you guys on the chart.
Hey there, I'm Mr. Know-It-All, the lead swing trading analyst trader at Swing Trade Pros, the #1 swing trading and bot community in the world. And I genuinely want to help you make your mark in the thrilling world of swing trading cryptocurrency. I've been trading since 2017 and I've taught myself many different trading strategies, patterns. I'm known for the falling wedge pattern, as you guys might know. I've dedicated my life to mastering these types of structures and patterns, and now my goal is to impact the lives of 1 million of you. You heard that right. My goal is to impact 1 million people this bull cycle. Let that be you. Cryptocurrency markets can be a roller coaster ride, full of ups and downs. But through swing trading, I've discovered a strategy that can truly make a difference. I've poured countless hours to studying the intricacies of wedge patterns, rising wedge patterns, you name it, and it has become my area of expertise. Here's the thing. I genuinely want to see you thrive in this market. That's why I've made it my mission to impact 1 million of you. I want to provide you with the tools, insight, and support you need to navigate this exciting but challenging landscape. Swing trading is not just about technical analysis, it's about understanding market psychology and developing disciplined risk management strategies. I'll be there to guide you step by step as we identify different types of patterns and structures and seize profitable opportunities. Together, we'll build your confidence in trading skills, ensuring you're well prepared to face the twists and turns of swing trading. Believe me when I say that I genuinely care about your success. That's why I'm inviting you to join me, Mr. Know-It-All, on this transformative journey. Let's make the most of this bull cycle and work towards your financial freedom together. You'll find all my links in my bio. Reach out and let's dive into this world of swing trading. I'm here to support you and your family and guide you every step of the way because your success matters to me. Together, let's make a real impact and achieve trading success.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Right here, we're looking at an asset called Moon River. Full disclosure, I have a position in this asset that I bought in January of 22, somewhere in the $7 region. This was alerted. Anyways, we didn't get the exact bottom, but we got pretty close. And I'm going to show you guys how we did that and why we took the entry that we did when we did. The first thing, obviously, you want to look at is the relative strength index, right? So this is just a regular RSI that's free on TradingView. We do have custom indicators and stuff. If you guys want to check those out at swingtradepros.com under the basic indicator package, but that's neither here nor there. You guys can mosey around on TradingView and mess with free ones. It's fine if you're new to trading. So this is the relative strength index. And what this measures is the strength of the asset, right? And so every single time you get to below the 30 level, you're becoming oversold on the asset, right? So it was oversold here in January, it was oversold again here in May, oversold here in June. I'm on a 2-day time scale. Usually the 2-day charts are not so much noise, right? So if you understand how to trade the crypto markets, you know that we have like 4-year cycles. Maybe not this cycle, but we'll see. Getting a little off topic there, but basically how you want to use the relative strength index is, especially if you're looking for maybe long-term swing trades, is I like to, and the reason why I ended up buying in January of 22 was because I saw the asset. This is July, right? So yeah, January was, or maybe it was 23. It was around this $7 region, wherever that is. Yeah. So the RSI here, and it was January 23. There you go. So the RSI was oversold at the bottom of a trend line, right? So I was like, maybe this is the bottom for this asset, or maybe it's pretty close to the bottom for this asset. It happened to not be the exact bottom, but on a longer term time scale, when an asset's down, well, I don't know, what was this thing down here at $7? It was down 98%, right? So your downside there is limited, unless the project is completely defunct and it's not going to succeed at all. But I'm getting off topic again. So just the basics is you want to be looking for an RSI that is near oversold or at oversold. Now, on the longer term time scales, like the weekly time frame, you also want to have some confluence there, meaning you want to see that the RSI is also near those oversold territories on those 2-day and weekly charts, right? So really, you want to an RSI that's below 45 on the weekly. Okay, so in January of 2022, on the weekly chart, our RSI was below the 40 level. It was at 34. So yeah, that was a great time to buy, even though it ended up going further down in price. You could have bought again in here in October when the market really bottomed out, right? So that's how to utilize the RSI. Now, just having the RSI itself isn't necessarily going to be enough, right? So I like to also use a stochastic RSI. And what the stochastic RSI kind of does is tell you the directional movement for which direction that RSI could be going, right? So when I did buy down here in January, you can see that the stochastic RSI was at this bottom below the 20 line, right? And so I saw this happening and I was like, man, this could actually get a big move up. And you know what? It did. It actually went from $7 up to almost $13. So I almost got a double up there. And I did not sell the asset. I could have, but I am taking, this trade was more so for a long-term trade and for the cycle of this bull run. Okay, and so you essentially want to look at, when this stochastic actually crosses the 20 line. That's when you're really getting the signal, right? Because sometimes you get these fake outs, here. It started across the 20 line here and you got a fake out again. So like it's tough. I mean, especially with this asset doesn't have that much data. So right this very moment, actually, the weekly stochastics, you got this major move, right? This major move right here. So you crossed the 20 line here. You got the buy signal. You're below 45 on the RSI. You're at literally the bottom here, right? And the RSI did make a weekly cross right here in October with the rest of the market. And so that's kind of how you want to utilize these two in tandem. Now, I also like to look at, support and resistance levels, right? So, by the way, I'm using this indicator here. It's called Fluid Trade. It's also a free one on TradingView. I like it. I like to use it because it gives me those visuals of where the demand zones are, so you don't really get tricked on longer term timescales. So, like right this very moment, this asset, is not too far away from its daily demand zone. So, if you were to take a trade on something like this, you could easily strategize a stop loss below the demand zone, right? And yeah, I mean, you can see the daily here. It looks like the momentum kind of topped out, but the RSI is not showing that. The RSI actually got a daily cross, and you're sitting around bullish territory, and you could just be moseying around in this bullish territory on the daily chart. And the 2-day time scale is actually ticking up, right? So the 2 days ticking up, the daily's consolidating. And the volume is another big factor you want to look at when trading these types of pennants or patterns. This right here is obviously a big bull flag after this huge impulse that it had. And so this is just this particular asset, but we can see the 2-day stochastics crossing up, the 3-day just swinging up. So this could be looking at a major move coming in the next coming days. And because the weekly got a reset, meaning it had this big major move up, but you got the reset here, and this median line is the bullish control zone stochastic. So if the 2-day and the 3-day actually go bullish, then the next coming days, this weekly stochastic, if the asset does go up, this is actually going to cross back to the upside on the weekly chart, which could signal many weeks or potentially months of further upside, which is why I'm projecting this thing to maybe break out of this channel. And if it does do that, it could be looking at a major move, right? There, you have a zone right here that it could get to. The top of the zone is $94. That's almost a 5x trade that could potentially occur if all of these variables kind of play out and the whole market remains bullish, right? And so that's kind of how I use the stochastics in tandem with the RSI. Now the weekly RSI is bullish, but it's below the signal line right now. But that could change with these smaller time scales, like the 2 and the 3-day. The 2 cross back up. The daily's up right now. The 12-hour is below, but it's still sitting. The signal line is we're below the signal line on the RSI, but we're not too far deviated from it, and we're sitting in bullish territory. Anything above 45 or anything above 50 on the RSI is technically bullish. Anything above 70 is becoming overbought or extended. Just like anything below 30 is in the bearish control zone. Anything below 30 is then oversold. Okay. If you guys enjoyed this video and you guys found this to be informative, make sure you guys smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, and tick the notification bell. And there's one other indicator here that is actually something I want to cover before I let you guys go. And this is called the MACD, which stands for Moving Average Convergence Divergence. And you can literally just type that in on TradingView, Moving Average Convergence Divergence, and add it to your chart. And what this is telling you is when the asset is showing those things, moving average, convergence, divergence. But really, it's just a histogram of negative momentum or positive momentum. And you have this signal line or the blue line crossing the orange line, which is the signal line. So right here, when it crossed, this is telling you that the asset was losing momentum on this time scale, which was the 2-day chart. And you can see that it did lose momentum. It's just been consolidating now. It's not like necessarily completely bearish because, well, these lines are above the 0 line. When they go above the 0 line, this is signaling that the asset is still bullish and it could just be consolidating. And so the divergence portion of this oscillator or this indicator is actually really, really important to learn. So divergences occur a lot in markets and a lot on these charts. So I can tell you right now, just by looking at this, we have 2-day hidden bullish divergence. And why is it hidden? Because you have momentum, the lowest levels of momentum you've seen on the 2-day chart versus this histogram low right here from December, right? And this December low right here, which was barely any selling pressure, right? You can see there's like barely any selling pressure on those histograms. And then you got a big pump, right? But we've made more negative momentum on a higher price than the previous levels of negative momentum. That is why is a hidden bullish divergence, because you're making higher prices, but you're making lower momentum levels. So this is telling me what's going to eventually happen is a change of trend. A reversal is coming, impending. And that actually makes a lot of sense because you're in this pennant right here, right? You have the stochastics on the 2-day and the 3-day crossing back up, and you have the daily crossing the signal line, the 2-day cross the signal line. So those factors alone, the 2 and 3-day charts, are going to produce pretty massive swing trade and pretty massive movements. Now the weekly time frame is obviously going to be a lot slower because it's 7 days of time. So you can kind of beat the weekly time scale by looking at the 2 and 3-day charts because those close quicker than weekly charts, right? I rest my case. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and learning about the RSI, stochastic RSI, and the MACD. These 3 oscillators are really all you need to understand when looking at charts. And if you can then identify patterns with those indicators and oscillators, then you're going to have a really easy time trading these markets. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We'll catch you guys in the next one.